Hi everybody, in this video we are going to continue the same topic called as the post-fertilization events. Post-fertilization events. In this we are going to study about the seed and the fruit. Seed and the fruit. We all know that flower is the reproductive organ. Flower is the reproductive organ in angiospermic plants. And this flower is having the ovary. Okay. Flower is having the main part called as what? The ovary. And the ovary, okay, this ovary will consist or contains the ovule. Okay, will contain the ovule. Let us say that this is the ovule. And this ovule, let us make it very clear and see here. Let us say that this is the ovule now. This is the ovule. So, when we look at this ovule showing simple parts, okay, simple but not all the parts. So, here is the simple structure of an ovule. So, keeping this in mind, let us now try to understand what is happening to different parts of the ovule. Now, here, as the seed matures, okay, as the seed matures, which means develops, okay, as the seed matures, there are some changes that are taking place in the ovule. There are some changes that are taking place in the ovule. So, what are those changes that are taking place in the seed as it matures? The first thing, let us say that in the ovule we know that there is one part called as integuments. Okay, integuments. So here the first part let us talk about of the ovule. This is the part of the ovule. So these are what now? The integuments. So here the integuments, you can see it as outer integuments and inner integuments. Outer and inner are there. Outer integument and inner integument. The integuments will be changing, okay, will be changing into a seed coat or into seed coat. It will be changing. Integuments will be changing into seed coat in the ovule. So what we said here, as the seed matures, integuments will be changing into seed coat. Will be changing into seed coat. And here there is another opening we said. There is one opening present in the ovule. What is that opening? We call it as the micropyle. Okay, micropyle. It is a small opening that is present in the ovule. And this small micropyle, okay, will be there on the seed or will be present in the seed as a small opening. It will be present as small opening. Okay, micropyle will be there in the seed. Okay, in the mature seed, micropyle is there as a small opening. But what is the function? Why there should be a small opening? Through this small opening that is now present in what? The seed. That is now present in the seed. This small opening will helps in exchange of gases and absorption of water during seed germination. So there is a small opening present on what now? The seed. There is a small opening that is present on the seed. What is that? How this small opening, or from what this small opening is formed? It is from the micropyle. So here it is very clearly or indirectly it is said that you should keep in mind that this is the ovule which is changing into what? It is changing into seed. Please remember, the whole ovule is changing into what now? The seed. Remember that. Which part of the flower will be changing into seed? It is the ovule. Ovule will be changing into seed. So we are seeing the parts of the ovule which are completely changing as the seed matures. So here we said integuments. Okay, they have changed into seed coat. Micropyle, it is there present as a small opening in the seed, which will be helping in what? Exchange of gases, means for taking in oxygen, for respiration process, and for absorption of water during seed germination. And as the seed matures, the next point we have to keep in mind is that as the seed matures, there will be less content content means decrease, okay, decrease water content, okay, decrease water content. There will be very less water that will be present in the seed. There will be very less water that will be present in the seed, and the seed becomes dry. The seed becomes dry. Maybe when we say that it is dry, please remember it will be containing about 10 to 15% of moisture, by mass, This is important, okay? So as we say that now the seed is dry. Dry means it is not totally or completely dry. It is containing about only 10 to 15% of moisture by mass. And the next point that we have to keep in mind. So here, the next point we have to keep in mind is that metabolic activities in a seed, okay, in a seed, metabolic activities slows down, okay, metabolic activities slows down, okay, slows down. Please remember, they will not completely stop. Why we have to remember this point is that most of us think that, when we take a seed, that they are dead cells or it is dead. But please remember, seeds are not dead cells. They have the living cells, but the only thing is that the metabolic activities of the seed will be slows down. So that's why we should not misunderstand that the seeds are in dead condition. They are not dead. So once we see these three, okay, once we see these three conditions like decrease in the water content in the seed and becoming dry, having only 10 to 15% of moisture by mass, and metabolic activities slows down. Because of these three, now the seed enters, okay, the seed enters into dormancy stage. It enters into dormancy stage. So what do you mean by dormancy now? What do you mean by dormancy? A period of rest. Just before the seed germinates, it enters into dormancy stage. But here it may not be with all the plant seeds. There are some seeds which, when they are there within the fruit only, they start germinating. Within the fruit they are there present and they start germinating. But here, apart from that condition, here what we are saying is that the seeds will be entering into dormancy stage, a period of rest before they germinate. But once there are favorable conditions, so when a seed comes across favorable conditions, what are those favorable conditions? We can say sufficient amount of water, or otherwise this can also be said as what? Moisture. Okay, this can also be said as what? Moisture. When there is sufficient amount of moisture, and during favorable conditions like when there is sufficient appropriate temperature and oxygen, and sufficient oxygen. These are all what? Favorable conditions. When all these conditions are suited for the seed, then immediately the seed starts germinating. So these are some things or some points that we have to keep in mind as the seed matures. What is happening? So when the seed matures and the seed is maturing, what is happening? The integuments are changing into seed coat. The micropyle is present as small opening, and this small opening is helping in exchange of gases and also for absorption of water during germination. Then there will be decrease in water content as the seed germinates. It becomes dry, but it will be having only 10 to 50% of moisture by mass, and the metabolic activities will slows down, and that's why the seed enters into dormancy. Dormancy means period of rest. And once the favorable conditions are now there present, available, then immediately the seed absorbs the water, that is moisture from the atmosphere or from the soil, and when the temperature is suitable for it, and when there is sufficient oxygen, it will, using all these conditions, now the seed germinates. So now we will discuss about the fruit. We will discuss about the fruit. Here, when we talk about the fruit, fruit formation starts with different types of stimulus. Different types of stimulus carried by different processes. So let us say like this. Different processes that are taking place in the angiospermic plants will provide a stimulus for fruit formation. So here, keeping that in mind, the first stimulus for fruit formation, okay? First stimulus is brought by the process of pollination. This is the first stimulus that is brought, okay, for fruit formation. And the second stimulus for fruit formation, okay, for fruit formation is the formation of a seed. So as soon as the seed is formed, it is a stimulus. Now for the formation of what? Fruit. So first stimulus for the fruit formation is from pollination. Second stimulus is from seed. And there is another one which we should not neglect. The third stimulus depends upon the availability of nutrients. So based upon the availability of nutrients, okay, there will be the growth and development of the fruit. So these are the three different types of stimulus which helps in formation of what? The fruit. So which part of the flower is changing into a fruit? Which part of the flower will be changing into fruit? Here, when we look at the female part, here, this part we say it as what now? The ovary. We are saying it as the ovary. And inside this, what is there present? It is the ovule that is present. Ovule, that which we are seeing it very clearly. Here, the diagram is shown. Here, in simple, we are saying now that ovule, okay, ovule matures into seed. Otherwise, you can say ovule is developing into or forming into a seed. And now the ovary. Okay. Now the ovary. Ovary develops into a fruit. And these two will be taking place simultaneously at a time. As the seed is formed, slowly there will be changes that will be taking place even in the ovary, which will be changing into what? Fruit. So here we should remember that point. Ovule is maturing into a seed, ovary is developing into a fruit, which are taking place simultaneously. These two processes are taking place simultaneously. Okay, simultaneously these two processes will be taking place. Okay, simultaneously these two changes are taking place. And now, now our concept is what? The fruit. So ovary wall. Okay, if you are looking at the ovary wall, okay, ovary wall, it will be changing into a structure called as pericarp. Okay, it will be changing into a structure called as pericarp. So pericarp is nothing but what now? We can call it as what now? The fruit wall. Okay, pericarp is nothing but the fruit wall. So what we said here, ovary is developing into fruit. So the outermost layer of the fruit, ovary wall, that is nothing but the ovary wall. This is the wall. So the ovary wall will be changing into what now? Pericarp. It is changing into pericarp. So this pericarp is what? The commonly called as fruit wall. So here we can see that the fruits, are of maybe of fleshy or dry. The fruits may be fleshy or dry. So here, when we talk about the fruits, so let us see some examples which are of different types. Fruits, now we are saying that they may be fleshy. Okay, there may be fleshy fruits or there may be dry fruits also will be there. Fleshy or dry. So when we say fleshy, what are the best examples that we can quote? We can quote them as the orange, mango and guava. Okay, orange, mango and guava are the fleshy fruits. Fleshy fruits. But whereas for dry fruits, then we can quote certain examples like groundnut, otherwise called as peanut. Groundnut, otherwise called as peanut, and also mustard. And also mustard. These are fruits which are dry. These are fruits which are dry. Fleshy fruits are what? Orange, mango, and guava. But apart from this, when the fruits are formed, we will be observing that all the floral parts will be falling off. Sepals or calyx, corolla, and androecium, and part of the stigma will be degenerating and they will fall off as the fruits are formed. But here, apart from that, we will be seeing different types of fruits. When there are some parts of the flower which will be participating in the formation of the fruits. Means, we are very clear here with this explanation that the part of the flower which is changing into a fruit is what? The ovary. Please remember, ovary is changing into what? The fruit we are saying. But apart from this, there are also some fruits which are formed not only from the ovary, or most of the part of the fruit will be from the other parts of the flower. What are those other parts which are participating in the formation of the fruit we are going to discuss. So in most of the plants, flower bearing plants or fruit bearing plants, when the fruits starts forming, all the other floral parts will degenerate and fall off. Like what we said, calyx, corolla, and androecium. They will be falling off once the fruits are formed. But here, one thing we have to make note, that there are some fruits which are formed from other accessory parts of the flower. Other accessory parts of the flower. Or there are some parts of the flower other than ovary participating in the formation of a fruit. So here, we will make it very clear, saying that here, there are, now the fruits can be broadly grouped into two types. One is as true fruits and the other one is false fruits. True fruits and false fruits. We already said fruits, fruit is formed from what? What we said? Fruit is formed from the ovary we said. Okay, fruit is formed from the ovary we said. Means ovary is changing into fruit we said. But here, apart from the ovary, there are other parts of the flower which help in formation of the fruit. So, based on that, we are saying true fruits and false fruits. So, what are true fruits? When the fruits are formed only from the ovary. Okay, only from the ovary. When the fruits are formed only from the ovary, we call them as true fruits. When the fruits are formed only from the ovary, we call them as true fruits. So here we can say that this is what? The ovary. This is the ovary we are saying. Okay, this is the ovary. So only this part will be changing into fruit. Only this part will be changing into fruit. But whereas in the case of the other, fruits, we are calling them as what? False fruits. What are these false fruits? False fruits are formed mostly by the contribution of one part which is called as the thalamus. So here, thalamus is participating in the formation of the fruit. Major part of the fruit is with the help of the thalamus. Okay, thalamus is contributing major part for the formation of the fruit. Okay, thalamus. So fruits formed from other parts other than what? Ovary. Other than the ovary, then we are calling them as false fruits. So in false fruits, thalamus will be the major part. So all these fruits which are mentioned here, both for true fruits and false fruits, we can make it very clear. So main point that we have to keep in mind is that true fruits are formed from the ovary, whereas the false fruits are formed from the thalamus. And you know that this is the thalamus. This is the old term that which we use. Thalamus is the old term. Otherwise, we also call it as what? Receptacle. We also call it as receptacle. Or otherwise, we also call it as torus. So here, Now, when the thalamus is participating in the formation of a fruit, we are calling such fruits as what? False fruits. Example, apple, cashew, pineapple, fig, mulberry, pears, gourd and jackfruit. All these are few examples for what? False fruits, in which thalamus will be playing a crucial role for the formation of the fruit. At the same time, some of the best examples of true fruits in which are formed from the ovary. Okay, from the ovary are blueberry, kiwi, lemon, watermelon, cherry, mango, maize and grapes. All these are formed from the ovary, only from the part of the ovary. Those fruits are called as what? True fruits. Okay, these are called as true fruits. So the next one is parthenocarpic fruit. Parthenocarpic fruit. First point that we have to keep in mind when we are talking about parthenocarpic fruit is fruits. Okay, fruits are the result of what? Are the result of fertilization. Okay, because of fertilization, what we are seeing? Fruits are formed. Because of fertilization, fruits are formed. So fruits are the result. Fruits are result of what? Fertilization. Fruits are result of fertilization. But there are some species. Which produce fruits without fertilization. There are some species which produce fruits without fertilization. So such fruits which are formed without fertilization are called as parthenocarpic fruits. Parthenocarpic fruits. So here we have to remember fruits formed without fertilization. Fruits formed without fertilization. Okay, without fertilization. Okay, are called as what now? The parthenocarpic fruits. So here this point is important. So fruits formed without fertilization are called as what? Parthenocarpic fruits. Parthenocarpic fruits. Okay, parthenocarpic fruits. So this is one very important term that you have to keep in mind. And the very best example that we always quote for this is banana. Okay, the best example is banana, which we quote. So here please remember, banana is a true fruit. Banana is a true fruit, but it is a parthenocarpic fruit. It is a parthenocarpic fruit. Fruit formed without fertilization, banana. And this technique can be applied for some other fruit bearing plants by spraying, by using growth hormones. Okay, to produce parthenocarpic fruits, we can use growth hormones. Okay, to produce parthenocarpic fruits. Growth hormone, like the best example is, please remember, auxin. Okay, auxin is a phytohormone, plant growth regulator we say. So when we use this growth hormone, we can produce the parthenocarpic fruits, which is an important technique that we have to keep in mind. Okay, growth hormone, that is auxin, is used to produce the parthenocarpic fruits, which are seedless. This is the last point that you have to keep in mind. So here, what do you mean by parthenocarpic fruit? When you wanted to understand about parthenocarpic fruit, we should remember that fruits are result of what? Fertilization. But fertilization is not compulsory for formation of fruits, because there are some fruits which are formed without fertilization. Such fruits are called as what? Parthenocarpic fruits. Best example we are quoting is banana. And because of this technique can be used on some other plants to produce the fruits without fertilization by using what? Growth hormones. Best example is auxin. Okay, auxins we can say. Auxin or auxins we can say. So using the auxins, we can produce parthenocarpic fruits. Those fruits will be seedless. Thank you.